So you can access Bloomz one of two ways. You can either use your app on your school-issued iPad, or you can do it via a web browser. If you're going to be publishing content, this may be easier to do on a web browser as opposed to consuming. Works really well on the app. So to get to it from a web browser, I'm going to simply go to the website address app.bloomz.net. From here, it's going to have me sign in for the first time. I do not need to create an account. And I'm going to tell it to go ahead and sign in with my Google login. You'll have an option to sign in with your Google account. And then once you've done that, it will log you in and you should see something like this. So Bloomz gives you two different options to communicate with parents and even students in some cases. You have what's called a feed. Your feed is like a Facebook page. It's basically a way for you to post things, and every member of your group will be able to see those things, just like you would post something to social media and everyone who follows you would be able to see those things. This is pretty much a one-way conversation where you control the content and you can control whether people can reply to that or not. So it's a way to control and share what information is going on in your classroom. Now, when I want to post, I can either choose an individual class or group that shows up over here on the left, or I can go up here to all groups to be able to post to multiple groups at once. So if I want to post something to my feed, I'm going to use this create button. If I want to post a message, I'm going to use the message button. Again, that's like the text group or text chat if I want it. Now, if I wanted to post something to my feed, I'm going to hit the create button. It gives me a few different options. The ones you're probably going to use most are post and announcement. An announcement is something that is just going to show up at the top of your page for a certain period of time. It's up to you, but again, it would probably be something like, hey, permission slips are due tomorrow, or something along those lines. A post is going to be something where you're giving an update on what things are happening with you. So it could be photos from a field trip. It could be, hey, here's what we did in class today, and things, again, to help parents and students feel more connected with what things are going on into your classroom. So if you wanted to create a post or announcement, you're going to hit the create button. And because I have all groups selected, it's going to show me all of them to be able to post to. And I'll simply choose a checkbox next to each group I wanted to send a message to. Now, once I check a group, it'll show up here under the to of who is going to see this post. So by default, it's telling me that the Science 6 group and for third hour and for second hour are both going to be getting this message. Now, underneath each group, there is a blue triangle or arrow, caret, if you will. If I click on that, this will show me all of the people it's going to send this message to in that group, or all the people who will see my feed. So by default, they're all turned on. But if I wanted to, I could send or show this message to just parents or just students, or to, again, everyone if I wanted to be able to do that. Again, the default is all everybody, but if you wanted to change it and have it only go to one group or the other, you could choose that. And then you hit apply, and again, it'll show, hey, third hour is going to go to all 5 roles, second hour is all 5 roles, but you could literally change that within each one of your hours and say, you know what, I only need this to go to parents in this class, and I hit apply, and again, up here, it'll say third hour is only going to parents, second hour is going to all 5 roles, which is parents, students, admin, teachers, etc. So once I choose where it's going to go, I hit next, and this is where I can create my message. Now, this is simply like any other social media type app. I can type in text, I can type in some formatting of that text. I have a little plus sign here that I can choose to insert links. I can insert images in here. I also have an image option down here at the bottom. They both work the same way. And so I could type a message and say, today in class we did blah, blah, blah. Now, if I wanted to add a photo, I simply can either, again, hit the photos button down here and hit add photos, or the image button there. They do the same thing. I choose my picture and hit upload. Now, it's going to show up blurry as it's uploading. That's normal. And then it'll process and then show you the normal picture after that. Once that shows up, there is a spot underneath that image for caption. All right, we must put a caption. State requires us to put a caption under every single picture to meet what they call ADA compliance, which is the American Disabilities Act. So students who are visually impaired use what's called a screen reader to read what's on the screen. And so all you need to do is simply put a caption underneath the picture of what this is a picture of. So consider it as if I were to close my eyes and describe what this is a picture of. You don't have to use any specific names. You're simply going to say, this is a teacher with some students playing an instrument. This is a bunch of middle school students dancing. This is a bunch of whatever. A generic description, just so again, if somebody was visually impaired, they would know what this is a photo of without being able to obviously see it. Now again, once I've created my post, I have a couple options here. I can insert files. Files allows me to add things from my computer or Google Drive, and I can attach those to my post as well, which people in my feed will be able to see. But it's important to note out there's an option here for comments. By default, comments is turned on, which means if I post something, people can comment on it, just like social media works. When that works, it has same kind of commenting options. If I don't want that to be an option, I click the button and it turns commenting off. That means it's a one-way conversation. You can post things, but they can't comment on it. It's up to you if you want to allow comments or not. There's also an option when I'm ready to send it. I can either hit send and it posts immediately, or I can click schedule, and this gives me a date and time to control exactly when this message is going to get posted. Once I'm done and happy with this, I hit schedule or hit send, and it will post this to my wall, and all of the parents and students that I sent this to are going to get a notification that something has been posted. Again, similar to what social media would post, they'll see all of that, and that is going to show up in what's called the feed of that class. So if you click on it, you'd actually be able to see a live view of exactly what was posted, so you can control what each one of them looks like. So the messaging part in Bloomz has a couple different options. I can open up a message and I can simply type in a teacher's name or a student's name or a parent's name and be able to send them a message directly. Or I can actually choose to message an entire class. So if I clicked on a class and I go to message, I could send a message to this entire class, but it is going to open up a text chat, like a group chat of that entire course. So if I was to select a class and hit done, this creates a group chat where I can post messages and everybody in that group can reply. So it's like a massive group chat of everyone that I've selected. So I can either send a message to one person or I can set up a group chat to be able to set up other people. More realistically, how most teachers will probably choose to use the messaging tools in Bloomz are to simply find a student first. So if I clicked on any individual class, like this class here, for example, up here at the top, I have some buttons underneath the name of the class. The one with the picture of the people is a manage button. And if I click on that, I have parents, students, staff, etc. So if I go to students and I find a specific student that I want to send a message to, I can open up that student. And when the student opens up, it gives you the information about that student on the right-hand side. Underneath the student's name, there is a view profile. I can message that student, or there's an option here that says message parents. This will send a message to all of the parents of that student that are connected with them in PowerSchool, and it will allows you to message all of them at the same time without having to send individual emails to them. So if I hit message student, their names are added to the top. I can then create my message and hit send, and it creates a message and sends it to those parents directly. In any of the messaging tools, I can choose to either attach photos, attach documents, and simply type in my message, and then hit send to be able to send that message to them. Now, it's important to note that we still have the same options we've had in the past with our learning management systems and PowerSchool Messenger for messaging as well. So what tool you choose to use is entirely up to you and how you want to communicate with your room. But having Bloomz allows you to at least create kind of like a media feed to post information and stuff to your group so that parents feel connected with what's going on in the classroom.